You're listening to Family in Focus with Dr. Wendy Schofer, episode number 104. Welcome to Family in Focus with Dr. Wendy Schofer. I am the pediatrician and certified health and life coach who specializes in helping you parent without all the food and body drama. Let's get busy creating the life you want to share with your whole family. Welcome back, my friends. A few months ago, I spoke about Hygge, the Danish concept of coziness. It's episode number 97 called Unlocking Your Inner Rebel. So if you haven't already, please go ahead, go check it out. I'll wait for you. In the episode, I really kind of discover how my inner rebel is soft and vulnerable. And I think that there's so much more to that story that I want to build onto it again today. At the time that I recorded that episode, I had just returned from Denmark just a few weeks prior. And, the whole concept of Hygge was fresh in my mind. I was determined to not have it be some kind of a vacation vantage point, the things that you only do when you've kind of checked out from your real life and that you do them on vacation. Like date nights or sleeping in or those holidays from Facebook or maybe turning off your electronics for a few hours. But anyway, so I really wanted to be able to embrace Hygge and bring it home with me and not just practice it while I was visiting my daughter in Europe. So let's tell the rest of the story. I basked in the glory of finding Hygge in the first place. And, for the first couple of weeks, I really kind of snuggled with it under the covers. And then maybe about a month or so ago, so, somewhere around November, I found myself running around with my hair on fire, trying to fit all sorts of things in, planning for Thanksgiving, thinking about my kids and kind of juggling when and where they were going to be with school and travel and everything, and my upcoming launch. And also, hold on a minute, truth be told, I had also had all of the shifting of things going on in my mind because my husband just received those new orders to Guam just a short period before then. And so I was frenzied and trying to outthink and plan for everything. I needed to find the best options to make it all fit together for my kids, my dogs, my marriage. And then somewhere, perhaps, there was just a little bit left over for me. There's a question mark at the end of that. I really found that I'd gone back to my old ways. And I mean, let's keep it in mind, my old ways had been working in certain ways. I have discovered and shared, how I had a strength of being a maximizer. I can Tetris the snot out of any problem. I can uncover all the different perspectives and options to consider, how they all could fit together or which one I need to kick out because it doesn't fit. I can find out what's the best optimal situation. My Google Calendar, by the way, is a Tetris work of art. But Hygge isn't about Tetrising it all together. Hygge to me meant creating space. And that's what I was missing. I was missing space. Space, up here in my head, space in my schedule, space to just kind of like stretch out. I craved it. And in that white space, the coziness, so again, where I'm connecting that with Hygge, when I have that white space, I am able to let my mind wander. That's where I find my creative side, my creativity really kind of goes wild. I'm able to explore and create. Creating isn't something where I'm trying to fit all of the existing pieces of what I have now together. It's actually, like reinventing, being creative about what it is that I want in the first place, and then if I want it to actually fit together or not. And so it was really interesting. I made a note as I was observing all of this, not to give myself grief for going back to my old ways. Of course, I had practiced this constant movement and maximizing for years. It was an easy habit to hold on to. It wasn't so much of a problem, except for one thing. I didn't like the way that I felt. I didn't feel the way that I wanted to. I felt rushed, stressed, frenzied, even though I had paired off so many of the things that I had previously thought made me feel that way. Well, okay. I mean, this is the insight that I've had over the last couple of years. Actually, I felt that way, that stress and rush and frenzy, because I thought it was important to feel that way. But that's what was so magical about Hygge. I had had this experience of Hygge to show me otherwise. And so, right around that same time, a cold snap came over Virginia. Now, I will readily admit, while I am standing here all bundled up in my fuzzy scarf and trying to stand in the sunlight as it comes in so I can like curl up like a cat, it's not that particularly cold in Virginia. But as this cold snap came over Virginia, I turned on the fireplace. I ordered about 3 years worth of my favorite tea on Black Friday, and I started making hot tea and sitting by the fireplace, curling up with my dogs. And it was just like I just let everything slow down and soften. And I started listening to my body, which, is getting up somewhere between 5 and 6 every morning. And my body started saying, hey, look, it's time to sleep. As soon as it got dark around 6 o'clock, I wanted to slow down. And so I found that I really love the way it feels when I listen to the rhythm of my body. And now I guess I have a name for it, Hygge, that softness, the coziness, the warmth. It, well, yeah, it still feels kind of odd at times, mostly when I think about all the other things that I can and should and would be doing as I'm getting cozy on the couch with my tea and my dog and my husband and the blanket and Schitt's Creek and all the good things. And I notice that that's not a problem with the approach. I can just notice it. I think I should be doing all these things. But the softness, the coziness, the warmth, the connection, I notice that the old version of me that wants to keep on moving and doing things kind of thinks, well, this is kind of being lazy and not doing anything. But the coziness, the softness, warmth, connection, these are not things that are just lazing around. They are ways of being. And they're actually actions too that I'm taking, actions that support how I actually want to feel now and the energy that is helping me be who I want to be with my family. I don't want to be frenzied. I want to be soft. And so I talk about this as I'm getting ready to go back to Europe. Okay. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to visit with my daughter again in Denmark. And I am just so hungry for, that I guess it's an immersion in Hygge and just going for the softness and the warmth. And I know that I'm taking part of that back with me. I'm looking forward to that immersion because it's something that I've just been so hungry for. And maybe it's just kind of like an inoculation, something where I just get an added booster of it. And the other thing is that I'm highlighting that, you can embrace whatever view it is that you want, even when it seems like it's a contradiction. In fact, I'm embracing the contradictions of loving lots of pieces, all these moving pieces in my life, and the softness and the coziness that actually help me really enjoy them one at a time. So, what about you? What is it that you want to embrace? What is it that you want to feel, how you want to be? Aren't these really the questions? They are wonderful questions for when you're sitting on the couch under that blanket, maybe that dog, and with the hot cup of tea. Enjoy. I'd love to know what's coming up for you. So, as always, drop me a line. I love getting messages from you. I love it. So, drop me a line. It's Wendy at wendychauffeurmd.com. And hey, I'll see you soon. Are you a healthcare professional? The continuing educational experience for the Family in Focus with Wendy Chauffeur MD podcast is powered by CME-Fi. Head to the show notes for the link where you can reflect and earn credits for this episode. To hear more about Family in Focus and the programs that I offer, go to wendychauffeurmd.com. That's SCHOFER. And you can sign up to get free weekly content, tips, and also be the first to know about all of my upcoming group and individual coaching programs. I'll see you there. Remember, while Wendy Chauffeur is a physician and talks about health and wellness for the whole family, she is not your physician. This podcast is not providing medical advice and does not replace the relationship that you have with your personal physician.